It looks very high professional.
Have you guys done a lot of video conference since this whole situation?
No, this is my first one actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You
So glad you could join us.
you broke my Zoom cherry.
Wow. Good.
I guess this is gonna be the future, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I wanted to do this. I was hoping that we could have something normal, like I didn't want to talk about, we could talk about whatever. It doesn't have to be photography, but, I felt like everything I was seeing in social media was about the virus, and I thought, and it's not off topic here, but I just feel like,
Yeah.
it'd be fun to talk about photography, about,
Yeah, for sure.
something we enjoy doing.
Dude, what about Jeff Grasso? So sad.
Yeah. That's just a shock.
Yeah, it was really weird because like obviously I know him and he knows who I am from skating, but he was never like friendly with me. But that's just the way he
Mm-hmm.
is. And so it would always just consist of like, "What's up, man? What's up, man?"
Sure.
And then just randomly, dude, I ran into him at 7-Eleven at 5:30 p.m. the night before he passed away,
My
like
goodness.
on Monday, and he had his son with him. We had a really cool conversation. He was like smiling, and I remember going home and talking to Lauren and being like, "Dude, you never guess who I just ran into, Jeff Grasso," and he was like totally nice to me. I was like, "Whoa," but yeah, he looked fine. He was super happy. He was stoked he had his kid, and we just talked about hoping to get back to skating again and like normal life. But yeah, it was weird. I was probably one of the last people to actually see him because we're all in like quarantine or isolation or whatever.
And that also makes it even more of a mystery as to how he passed. Hi, Lauren.
Oh, it's Lore. Oh, there she goes. She left.
People, people are trying to get their hardware set
Yeah.
in.
Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. They said I heard Lauren actually told me that she spoke to Brighton Zoyner, who said that they did an autopsy on him and he had no drugs in his system. He did not have a virus, and it was just a heart attack.
Right. That's what it sounded like because it's so fast.
Yeah.
You think of
Dude,
heart attacks as some. My mom had one and she's passed now, but she survived it.
oh,
And
that's great. Yeah.
so, you know,
Yeah. Well, I had 4 years ago. I had a gnarly heart thing. That's actually how I ended up shooting skating.
really,
Uh, yeah. Post my like almost death, I had nothing. I couldn't work. I was really weak. It took me like almost a year to recover physically from it,
mm-hmm.
and then I just ended up going down to Venice because that's where I used to skate, and I was shooting down there, and then that's how it all started. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to shoot skating every day until I die because they're always like, yeah, my doctor, he's this crazy German guy. He's like, yeah, you could die anytime.
That's the truth. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, we could all die.
Not you. I mean anybody.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I mean.
What's up with Lauren? Can she hear us?
Can you hear us, Lauren?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you hear or see me?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, why do I only see Lauren now?
I think you can only see who's talking. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you can switch your view, guys. There's a speaker view and what's the other view? Gallery view. So speaker view or gallery views.
Oh, look, Lauren's in San Francisco.
I'm in San Francisco. Hold on, I'm going to pick a different one. There we go. Yeah.
Well, Mariah could probably do that too. Get something cool. She got white back.
Sure, let me go in the light a little bit better.
Wow, I'm a total Zoom newbie.
You're doing great.
I guess it doesn't really work very well. Never mind. It doesn't work.
No.
I like this. I'm watching photographers lighting a thing.
The lighting in your house is very nice and moody. I like the ambient light. Very
Is
nice.
it? I can switch it around. I have a big old IKEA thing right here. Another light here.
Next time I'll set up my
Have
keynotes.
you ever tried, Ken, have you ever tried Microsoft Teams?
No, is that good?
I think it's better than this. I've tried Zoom a bunch of times this week with my work, and the connection wasn't as good as Microsoft Teams. I just tried, we
Okay.
did that today, and it was so much clearer, and you don't hear any like static in the background, but we seem to have a pretty good connection. So
Okay.
it worked
I'll try,
this week. It didn't work so well.
I'm trying
Not
them all.
downloading it.
And I want you to know, Lauren, that we're recording this. We're going to put it on YouTube, but I don't think anybody's going to watch it. But, you know, just in case we say, in case we say something prolific about photography, maybe it'll be useful to somebody.
You're,
And I want to make sure that's okay with you. Is that all right with you?
Sure.
Okay. So, and there's no, I'm not the ringleader here. So, you know, I might get up and go to the bathroom or get some chicken and rice. Right? So like anybody has something they feel like talking about, just talk, you know.
Is anybody still shooting?
No, I've had a few pretty good offers to go and get some pretty exclusive things. I had to turn them all down.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you still shooting, Chris?
Well,
Have you
I've
shot
been out.
anything recently?
I went out like 4 times in the last 3 weeks, but again, it was really like small settings and people were staying away from each other and I was wearing a mask and all that stuff.
Good.
That doesn't
Okay.
sound very fun.
Okay. I'm here finally.
Hi.
Can you see me?
Yes.
How come I can't see everybody else?
I'm not sure. Maybe the connection's not good. Maybe it's
Oh, there's Lauren. Lauren flashed by really quick.
I'll be right back. I guess Chris Hooten's having a problem getting in. Okay,
Oh,
I
okay.
just sent him the.
How many people
Cool.
did you invite to this?
Oh, there's Chris.
I just invited anybody that I ever see on the deck of a thing, you know. So, you know, Grant Britton and Zimmerman and you all and
I'm sure a lot of like Ray is probably just tore up right now over.
I know. I didn't
Oh
think
my
he'd,
God, he is.
yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think he'd go for it, but I thought, you know, if he, on a whim he might. You never know. So and this won't be the only one. I wanted to do these just to do something other than like stare at the news all day long.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
So is Russ Sakurai going to be here? I wanted him to tell the story of his Pink Motel pool party shooting experience that he doesn't remember because it was so
buzzed. He's invited. He's got a headset on. He's invited to this thing. I'll send him another thing right now. I'll send Russ.
okay.
I'll just text.
So we need to watch our language because it's going on YouTube, right? Hey, Chris.
No, that's
Cool.
okay. I can't monetize anything on YouTube. I'm not popular enough, so you can cuss as much as you want. You know.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's the.
Let's just have a real conversation here.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. Oh, let me get here.
Texting Russ.
What are all these? Oh, there we go. Now I can see everybody. Cool. You just swipe right. Okay.
You
How about
swipe
if I
right?
swipe down?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
then I go. Then okay. There's like. Oh, this is interesting. I wonder if I go like this, and I'll get you more people. Nah, that didn't work. Sorry. So I guess we should introduce ourselves, maybe.
Sure.
I know
Okay.
everybody here.
I'm Lori Malley. Yeah, but the viewers might not know you. It's gonna be on YouTube, Chris.
my
Oh,
God.
wow, cool. I'm Chris Hooten.
Chris Hooten sounds like he's air traffic control. You're clear.
It looks like he's air traffic control.
I rather under over.
I'm just going to take a picture of you all for Facebook. Is that our demographic? Facebook?
Tell us when.
Yeah.
Laura ran away.
How does this work? I hope this is not sideways on Facebook. All right, I got something. Oh, Lauren's gone.
See, oh, I have to swipe right. Oh, I see.
Where'd Lauren go?
Chris, hi.
Right.
Hey, Laura.
There she is. Lauren's there. I just wish I could get more people per screen, you know, then I have to go back and forth.
You just need a larger monitor.
Yeah, I have my phone. I couldn't do it
Oh.
at home. There would be dogs barking, and so
Oh,
I'm sheltering in my car.
that's cool.
And I'm in my laptop underneath my desk, so.
You're underneath your desk.
Why under the desk?
You expecting an
Because
earthquake?
I have a big Cintiq on top of my desk, and it's hooked into my laptop underneath the desk.
Yeah, the grid view is way cooler.
Yeah, right.
I'm
Oh, is there
working-
a different one to do?
It's in the upper right-hand corner. Is like a grid.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm gonna take it. There's
Oh, yeah.
Lauren.
See everybody
I like
on
that.
it?
I like that better, yeah.
It probably gets
I'm
smaller.
on
as
my
more people
cell
show
phone,
up.
so I'm not on my computer.
Oh, my
Yeah, me
chins,
too,
bro.
Lauren.
My chins
I'm on
are.
myself.
I set up my dramatic lighting.
I know, that's pretty awesome. You were thinking ahead.
Moment over
Sorry for texting.
So,
I'm just looking at myself.
so bummer we're not shooting van. Okay, first van story. First pool party stories. Any fun stories?
Yeah, it's canceled.
Yeah, I know it's canceled this year. But how about like your first experience? I'll tell you a story. Okay.
All right.
So I was shooting. I couldn't afford a lot. So I had a wife beater that I would put over my flash as a diffuser. And MRZ came up to me one time just shaking his head. And then he gave me a piece of diffusing paper. I'm like, oh, thanks. So
He had
Yeah.
diffusion
was-
paper on him.
yeah, he did have some, I think it was, yeah, he had something on him, but he gave me a diffuser. And then, yeah, so he was embarrassed for me. But I was like, hey, I had to do whatever, you know, I had to make it work without a lot of money invested.
That's cool. That's so
Yeah.
Ray to have like diffusion paper on him. I mean, that guy,
Yeah.
the thing he's got in his suit, he always has a big thing of lights and reflectors.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah.
know what half of it does, but yeah, he's
Cool.
he's ready. Oh,
Mhm.
Russ was here. Now he's gone. What happened?
Oh no, Russ, we got to have that story.
He get back in. I imagine this is the way it's going to be. It's a little, you know. And sadly, Lauren told me that this is not a great meeting software. Of course, I bought it. You know.
Well,
Oh, you
this
bought
isn't
it?
too bad.
I mean,
With
then
us,
you can
it
talk
might
for more
work.
than 40 minutes, and you can invite.
Oh, okay, got it.
I don't know how it works exactly. I mean, I don't even know. You know, I just don't want to stare at the news on television. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice here because we can go out. So I've been surfing, but I know they're going to shut down soon. So, but we're
Right.
very
I
careful
went
about.
out today and I saw a lady walking a cat like she was trying to walk a dog. It was pretty funny.
Oh my God, poor cat. A cat on a leash.
I have a video. I'll send it to you.
That's great.
We all have to stay home because Dan Brown said so.
Dan Brown, who's that?
Oh, you don't know Dan Brown? He's a skater. But he's just been going off on Instagram like, fuck all these quarantine sessions. Stay home.
Oh, he's bumming on.
That
I
makes
see.
no sense because he was at Montrose thing, and that was like a good 6 days after they said stop going to, group setting,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird time right now.
Yeah, I miss all you guys. I normally would see you guys, you know. I don't
I
ever
know.
get to talk to you. I see Chris over there and Lauren over here. And, You know,
Mhm.
I invited
We
Dan.
should have
I don't know where
been in,
Dan is.
Malmo, Sweden right now.
Yeah, we were supposed to be at Bird Attack. I
Right.
never see Chris Hooten anymore because I don't go to Venice.
Ah. I know, that's my haunt.
Yeah, you got that on lock, dude.
Never
Yeah.
have time to go anywhere else.
And for me, you know, I bum out because I'll normally shoot, you know, people maybe 3 times a week, and so I'm really going stir crazy not being able to do that.
Yeah,
So,
that's hard.
and I think it's going to be a long time. I think I'm not going to be able to do
Yeah,
that.
I think
long
I mean, seriously, social distancing. I mean, you're gonna have to do that in like a year if you really want to get through this. But
Yeah, if you're looking
I mean,
at the whole
Yeah,
the
so-
picture.
Trying to stop in like June, July, and then once it starts getting cold again, it'll pick up because it's seasonal. So
okay,
I don't know. Hopefully
Yeah.
they come
Let's
out
see what
with
happens.
vaccine pretty soon or treatment.
we'll see what happens. It's like definitely a new. I don't know what to call it. Just
It's like a bad dream.
yeah,
Wow.
it is. It's we've never experienced it before in history, and so we're just paving the road now for the future if this ever happens again, which I hope it doesn't. But
I mean, it happened in 1918. The
oh yeah,
Spanish,
that's true.
the
Yeah,
Spanish flu. 50
my
million
grandmother
died.
lost 2 kids in that. Yeah,
Yep.
scary. But,
Then the Great Depression,
mhm,
then the New Deal, and then World War II.
mhm.
But I thought we were going to talk about skateboarding. I thought we were
Yeah,
gonna
let's
talk
talk
about
about
Yeah.
flashes and you know.
Okay, funny stories. Is Russ back yet, or did he bail out?
I'll get him back. You know, he could have. You know how it is. He could have been.
Yeah.
Maybe he had to do a family thing, but I'm going to text him again.
Okay, so
Everything.
how injuries, skateboard injuries, stitches, broken hands from being hit with a board, lost lenses, anything like that? Any of those stories?
I recently got hit in the head again.
Oh yeah.
You did.
Yeah. It was actually funny because a year ago or something, maybe even more, Liam Pace launched a board out of a pool and it hit me right in the nose and like cut my face. And it popped up in my Instagram memories as like, you know, 1 year ago today or something. I put it on my story, and then 3 days later, I was shooting with him and he flicked his board and it like the front truck bonked my head like. It was awesome.
Dang.
He got his anniversary hit on me.
That's what you get for looking through the lens.
Right? Oh man, that is like the stupidest argument I've ever heard in my whole life. You know, like, I mean, I get it. Like, obviously, it's awesome if you can look all the time and frame your shot, or if you're working on the shot.
Yeah.
If you're setting something up, fine. But a lot of times,
Right.
it's just like, you know your frame, you hope you hold your camera straight, and you hope you don't cut off any hands.
Yeah, I mean, look through your lens. I mean, try to get underneath somebody and look through your lens at like the Vans pool party. You know, I mean, it's like, okay, so I've got to lay on my stomach really quick. You know, there's no way. I mean,
Right.
And also,
you just have to practice holding it. You know, you kind of get to know your camera. You kind of get to know how you're going to frame it or how it's going to frame if you hold it in a certain position, and you just try it because you're moving so fast.
thanks to
It's just like there's
coronavirus, long lens is the new thing. So I'm not.
Yeah, there we go. It's going to be a lot more creativity out there.
That's a great question. What's the proper focal length to, you know, be 6 feet away, Chris? Or anybody?
Well, it would depend on what kind of focal you want. You know, I mean, obviously, if you have a lower f-stop, you're going to have a shallower depth of field. So, you know, a lot of times, depending on lighting and stuff, I just I've been shooting long lens around like 5. So
Yeah.
kind of has a pretty good depth of field, and you just sort of focus. Like if he's going to hit a rail, I'll just focus on the part of the rail where I plan to take the shot when he goes, and then hope for the best.
But it's so flat compared to a fish.
I know it sucks, but a lot of people have been telling me like, dude, you got to stop shooting just fisheye. So, I mean, the benefit to long lens is like, especially if like you're indoors at Hawks or something, like I love being able to control the light. So you can do backlight, edge light, you know, whatever.
That's true.
And you can
Right.
light the lamp, you can light the wall, you can play with shadows.
And I've been liking shooting with the 50 lately because I get more much subtlety of the color and everything, you know.
No, I see
okay.
you. I see you with your backlight on the clamshells.
Yeah, yeah.
I see you. Actually,
50's a pretty wide lens, really.
yeah, dude. What are you shooting with? Like an 8?
Usually, yeah, 8.
Damn, dude, that's so wide.
That's why my camera got nailed and broke,
Yeah.
and it was out for a while. But luckily, I bought insurance on the camera, so.
Yeah, I mean, even so, with the fisheyes in general, no matter what millimeter you're shooting, I try to keep the skater closer to the center of the you know, the fisheye, because obviously the further out they are, the more warped they get. And I really hate seeing photos where dudes' heads are just like.
But you can make somebody look. Some people like that. Maybe it makes their legs look longer.
I mean, we're not shooting models.
Well, you know.
And that distortion it's pretty cool in some shots.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
mean,
Yeah.
People either love it or hate it.
yeah. I think I don't know. I love it. I love the fisheye.
Yeah.
I should shoot more with a different lens, but I don't know.
Why? If you like it, why switch it
Yeah.
up? You know?
Exactly. If I like it, and I mean, you know, I don't get paid for this.
Yeah, you should do what you want to do.
I do what I want. Yeah.
Yeah, you get paid, then you got to make it the way they want. It's never very good.
Yes. It's always been for fun. But I shouldn't say I never got paid, but yeah,
Right.
no, it's for fun. So anyway,
That's cool. So when's the last time that we've all seen each other? What was the last?
probably pool party last year.
That was the last time I saw you.
And I think I saw you at Exposure.
No,
I was there.
I was there. Ken at Barracks.
Oh yeah, I was at
Where?
Barracks too. Right.
You and I had a
Oh
conversation.
yeah. I was there briefly.
I haven't seen Chris Hooten in like 10 years.
I haven't seen you
I
for a
know.
while, yeah.
Hey, dude, I
I
don't want
saw
to go down to
Chris a couple
Venice, dude. I don't want
weeks
to you're going to get me kicked out down there.
Ah, I've been in a work mode lately, so. Yeah.
Dude, I understand.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, real
Everybody-
jobs. There's real jobs get in the way.
Yeah.
For me, it's surfing. It's like lots
That's
of
nice.
surfing.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time where I saw Mariah at. Where was that?
I live in Huntington Beach.
Was it the opening of Huntington?
Oh, the
Yeah.
U.S. Open? Yeah. Oh, no, HB?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember now you were there. Wow, that seems like a long time ago.
She took some rad pictures there. I was in a class with her, and those were the prints you did, wasn't it? Those prints. Yeah, she did some rad prints of that thing. They're wonderful.
That's amazing.
Yeah, she's a great photographer. She does filming too,
But that's awesome.
that's
That's
awesome.
big.
which is way more, action and filming than photography.
Yeah, and I know filmers that were making like up to 20 grand a month right now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why aren't you
is
filming?
huge.
I just don't. I mean, filming is cool and everything, but it's not for me. I'm obsessed with imagery, probably like
Mhm.
most of us.
Mhm.
I love stills. But
Mhm.
Right.
yeah, people are always like, "Oh, you should.
Dan Berkey does a really good job filming. He's been doing that lately. He's been working more with the film. So
That's cool.
I heard
Yeah.
the editing is way more intense on
Yes, it
filming.
takes-
So that's why I never got into it because I don't
Uh-huh.
like to edit to begin with.
Depends
Yes.
how good you shoot.
it takes hours.
If you shoot well, then your shit goes together nicely.
Right.
True.
I did used to edit a lot, but I'm not into that anymore.
Well, with weddings, I'm used to handing over my card now and not used.
Oh,
I
you're
don't have
so
to
Oh,
edit.
that's kind of nice.
That's
Wow.
cool. You go to an event and shoot photos, and it takes 2 weeks for them to come out.
I know.
I remember in the beginning, you guys, Chris, you guys were all busting my balls because you'd be like, By the time he gets home, he'll already post 70 pictures.
I'm like, I haven't even
Yeah.
got home yet.
Posted everything.
Dude, in the beginning, I just was like, no filter, just oh, it's amazing. Everything looked good. And when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, what was I doing?
That's it. I mean, when I first started, it's like every bit of the trick looked cool to me. So I thought, oh my God, that's great. And then my friend Scott, who got me into this, he would say, no, you want to get it at the peak of the trick. I'm like, but it all looks so cool. So anyway, I had a lot of learning to do, but yeah.
Yeah. I think it can be good in any of those spots, depending on the shot.
Uh-huh. Oh, I've been going through a lot lately, just cleaning out, and I'm like, why didn't I post that? I've got some really nice unpublished stuff, but
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that at the moment you did it, you didn't see that, and now months later, or years later, you see it?
because I was being too particular, I think, and I was just trying to.
Go ahead. Teasing Chris.
Stuck.
Chris, are you okay? I have to ask.
No, I forgot to take I didn't take my Tourette's medicine today.
You're being too particular?
Did you forget your medicine
I was being too particular. I was so worried about putting a shot out there that the skater didn't like or something like that. And I wanted to, as far as getting that peak of the perfect timing and everything. Now I look back and I'm like, I don't care. That wasn't perfect timing, but it's a really cool shot. So
Yeah.
I've just learned, I don't know. I've learned to appreciate what I started out appreciating, every bit of the sequence of them, of whoever doing the trick. So anyway.
Is it possible that also the time changed your perspective on those images?
That's could be it. That could
Because
be
one
it.
thing about having it right away is I'm a musician, and I'll record music. I've been doing that most of my life. You can never really mix it when you record on the same day you recorded it because you're too close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So I don't know. You guys are getting germophobic on this chat?
I saw Chris doing something.
I think
I
he
touched
missed
my
his
face.
medication today is the problem.
Oh, I touched my face. That's another thing
Oh, I
that
have a cough. Sorry. Thank God we're,
trips me out because like when you're shooting, you're constantly putting your camera up to your face. So I was thinking about that. Like, damn, dude, I need to start
Yeah.
like wiping my camera down before I keep putting it on my face.
That's terrible.
And having people like before all this happened, it was totally normal. People just come over, look at your camera. Now I'm like, nah, you can see it later.
That's a trip. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's like no.
Oh yeah, it's one of the reasons I'm not picking up my camera.
You have to trust me. It's good.
I had some people were going to Buena today, and I was just like, not going to do it. So especially Buena Vista, it's I mean, a lot of interesting people hang out there, and you just don't know.
Okay, right. That's a trip, Chris.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I mean, I've been out a few times in the last few weeks just because like, man, I'm used to shooting every day. And after like 4 days of staying home, I was like, then I get a DM like Tony Hawk, like come down and shoot. So I'm like, I'm going to go, but it was like, there were 4 people there. We were all stayed away from each other. And there were like Clorox wipes going down. And,
Oh, that's great.
but I mean, yeah, I just kind of like, what am I going to do if I'm not shooting? And plus, like, probably like most of us, like, if you are really trying to do it, it's like, fuck, you put in so much work to get to where you are and then to, like, have it fall off,
But everything is stopping, I mean,
Everything.
sports have stopped and everything's stopped, really.
Yeah.
Anybody doing it now, it may actually not look so good in the future when you look back at that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that are going to have to remain to be seen about this whole thing.
So I don't even want to speculate on what it's going to be like, but Anyway, I'm dental hygienist and do real estate too. Of course, dental hygiene is shut down completely, but we're doing real estate virtually, basically.
Right.
Appraisers, some of them don't even have to go in the houses to do an appraisal, and buyers are just, choosing houses via virtual tours. So
Great.
it's very interesting. It's a very interesting time.
Why is Lauren texting me like 20 times? What? Don't act like you're not texting me. It's right here, Lauren.
What? What?
Not earlier.
Look at all these kissy faces.
No.
When's the last time you shot, Chris?
Too long. I guess I shot probably about 3 weeks ago when people were still kind of getting out, but and then at that point people were coming up and kind of hugging me and, hey man, and I was like, I got to get away from people.
Yeah, I didn't go like because it was that Montrose thing was like the Saturday, and like the shit started getting heavy around like Monday or Tuesday before that, and like I really wanted to go, but I didn't go because I knew there were going to be like hundreds of people there.
Yeah.
I went during the week because I had a wedding. I was supposed to, well, actually, I did have a wedding that day, which was crazy, but I went during the week for practices. So that was the last time I shot.
I'm just going to get comfy.
Yeah.
And like I told Ken, I'm just using this time to try to become a better editor, while I, mess with different softwares and learn how to edit better,
Boo.
since I'm stuck.
Less
Good.
editing.
Good, Chris. I'll send over some stuff to you. We can see how fast you edit it for me. I'm still behind. I
He
don't
doesn't
like
pay
to
well.
edit.
Don't
Yes,
do it.
I do. I
Don't
pay
do
him
it.
and I pay him well. Just not you, Chris.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I've seen where other photographers that, do portraits and shit like that, like they're doing like, pay them online, they'll show up and shoot your portraits from like 10 feet away, and like photographers getting creative about still trying to be able to work. But I mean, it doesn't really work in skating because unless you're just going to shoot long lens, you're going to be kind of
Right.
Yeah, unless you have
Nobody-
a long lens. I mean, I did some dance photos last week with a long lens and it worked out totally fine, but not skating.
It's so hard to get paid to shoot skating anyway, so whatever.
Well, is
Yeah.
anybody making a lot of money with skateboard photography?
I mean, I was starting to make money. It just all of a sudden stopped. I mean, I definitely my investment, my ROI is still way out of whack.
Yeah.
So
That's why I had to work a regular job. I couldn't be irresponsible. I mean, I felt irresponsible. Traveling, shooting, buying equipment. Like, no, it's not going to bring in the money. So it's nice to have, another job that's really flexible, and so you can support your passion.
Yeah. A lot of great photographers, like not just skate photographers, they had side hustle, like really famous guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And a lot of it, I think some of it's because they didn't want to take photography and have it become their job.
Yes.
Like
Right.
I think they didn't want to be told how to take photographs.
Mm-hmm. That's true. They wanted to hang on to the artistic part of it. I mean, if it's a day-to-day grind, it's not as fun. I mean, there are photographers out there, we know that are super successful, and that's how they make their living, and they call the shots. But yeah, it's kind of like, seems like, the pro football players or the actors and actresses, there's a handful of them that are really, really successful, but then, most people are kind of have to do a couple of other things, work a couple of other jobs.
But are they
anyway,
good?
I hope that made sense.
Yeah.
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 I don't think everybody that works at a thing is necessarily good at it. I know
That's
a lot.
true.
I know a lot of people that do television, in things like audio or camera work. I know some photographers that are fairly successful with it, I don't think they're great photographers. I would never
Mhm.
say who they are, but and that doesn't bother them. They just want to work, and that's their job.
Well, I don't think that photography is any different than most things. You can be like marginally good at it, and if you know the right people, you can be successful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
know the right people, have the right, business mind, know how to get it out there, how to market yourself. You can, I know people that are, Dan Berkey's an amazing photographer, and he's not really into the Facebook and Instagram things, so he's not out there as much,
Yeah.
but he worked in the industry for years. He worked for Big Brother, and I don't know what else, but yeah, he was.
I mean, up until this happened, I was starting to make money like shooting skate products. Like, so, I never in my life imagined when I set out to be a skate photographer that I'd be in a warehouse with a steamer
Product
getting
shoots.
wrinkles out of shirts and shooting them on a white backdrop and then dropping them out. It was just like, but whatever, it put some money in my gas tank and shit like that.
Lauren's doing the wedding photography. That pays. Where is she?
Yeah, but that shit blows.
Oh, I'm right here.
Okay.
That's a rough job,
I'm
wedding.
Yeah, I would never want to do it. I would
I'm
go
not
to
into,
shoot.
I'm not into
kiss.
photographing suicide.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but it pays. So
You have to be good to be a wedding photographer. You got to nail a lot of shots. That's
Lauren is awesome.
a lot of pressure.
Pressure, yeah.
Lauren's editing on the skate photos are just amazing. I love Lauren's stuff.
Yeah, because she takes like
Lauren's work. I shouldn't say Lauren's stuff. Pardon me? Wait, I didn't hear that. What happened? What?
I take forever to edit.
Oh, well,
I only take like a handful of photos I like the best, and that's it usually, because I just don't like, I never really I don't know. I just don't like editing.
Listen,
I'm so used to just giving it to somebody now to edit for me. It's the wedding job that it's
Right.
kind of hard.
Yeah,
Right,
editing is hard.
post-production on photos, in my opinion, is like eating ghost peppers. You should do it very little. Like, you should shoot in camera like 90 to 95%.
Right.
Oh, that's
stuff is
ideal.
super easy
Right.
to edit.
That's ideal. But
I mean,
shooting vans in that lighting, my God.
I love
I
it.
don't know how many.
I used to love it in there. I love shooting in there. It's amazing.
Yeah,
But
it's indoors.
Why do you like
can
that,
control
Chris?
your light so much
Well,
better.
obviously shooting the pool party is pretty shitty, but
Right, because then you can't set everything up, yeah.
yeah, I mean, even though on the last one though, I went ahead and I set lights up upstairs on both ends. Oh, look at my feet! Hi, everybody! Hi.
Oh, look at the little baby.
But yeah, like shooting when I'm just there shooting like somebody and it's not an event, it's rad there because you can really control the light. You can, if you want, just light the bowl up and then the rest is dark. I mean, everybody. The thing I hate that's really popular in there, everybody just does that slow shutter thing with the little fucking twist or the blur. Sorry, Chris.
Oh, I love that.
I'm over it.
I wish I'd do more of that. Oh, I love it.
I think it's because they don't know or can't afford high-speed sync, so they're just
No.
But
It's,
also, if you're
it
there
takes,
for an event. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
it takes skills to do that. To shoot in low shutter speed and then get the timing to where you're moving just as fast as the skater. And
that was like the first trick I learned, and Chris Hooten taught it to me.
Really?
Ah,
I don't know. I think that there's just a variety of photography tricks that are just like, sort of low-hanging fruit, easy to do, and it just gets more difficult as you try to like be more precise or do things a little more difficult. I mean, I think Chris has a lock on the artistic thing, which is pretty hard to emulate.
I don't know. But I just sometimes in there it's tough to shoot for me
in the background.
if you don't have so many lights and everything like that. You got to kind of work with what you have in that spot.
Absolutely.
Whoever has the most lights wins.
Yeah.
And you have to know how to use them.
I think everybody, I love looking at everybody's different styles. I think everybody's awesome. And there aren't two photographers that edit the same or shoot the same.
Agreed.
And that's what I love about it is
Yeah.
it may look like to the regular person or general population, it may look like, oh, okay, one looks exactly the same as the other. But when you're a photographer and you can see that contrast, you can see all the different elements involved in the photography. It's just everybody's different. And I love
a really
I
fun
love the variety. I love the diversity.
if you could get like 20 photographers together and a skater at a place that'd be willing to do it that many times, have each person shoot the same trick and compare all the photos at the end, they're probably each one is totally different.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
What's interesting is that some skaters,
That's Vans every year.
yeah, some skaters don't want to see any of us in the picture.
Don't
Yeah.
want to see anybody. What do you mean? Any of us? You
Like
mean on
our,
the side?
they don't want a stylized photograph. You know, they want like a real newspaper editorial. They feel that the
Mhm.
trick is bigger than them, than they are bigger than the the shot.
I think there's something to be said. You have to have like a safe mode, like just a solid photo that's going to be like good for, a variety of things. And then you have your own artistic style, which you can apply. I mean, I think everybody kind of has after a while, you can sort of say like, okay, this photo fits into a category of like a wide range of these photos are all similar, even though they're shot by different people. And then you do your own twist on it, and then it's totally different.
Right.
I don't know.
What's the name of the photographer who does the like metal plates or whatever? Or she does a little.
Jenny?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm so enamored at that stuff. It's amazing to me. It's so different. And
Yeah, wet plate.
Like a medium.
yeah, the wet plate. Yeah, the wet plate. I find it amazing. I love that stuff.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Really cool.
That's like real photography.
Look
Yeah.
who's here. Freddie DeSoto. Speaking of photographers,
Freddie!
Yeah.
Wait, I can't see him.
I gotta get him in here. I have to ask to start video. His audio's connecting.
Freddie's one of my favorite human beings on this planet.
He's right here. There he is.
Freddie!
I once took a picture of Jim Gray through Freddie's legs.
Did you?
Yeah. Baseball.
Yep, I've shot between people's legs before. I mean, at Vans, you just squeeze right in there between two people, get down. I mean, you do what you have to do. Yeah.
So what does anybody have any advice for somebody who wants to, be a skateboard photographer? Like they're
Don't do
there.
it.
What should they do?
We have enough.
Have a job on the side.
You don't need to do it. We got enough.
But like when you guys started, I have a story. So I was at Punker's Pool. Does everybody know that place?
I don't know.
No.
It's in Huntington Beach, and Zimmerman was there, and I was there shooting something for, I can't remember who it was, some skater. I should really know his name. And Ray was there, and I was real intimidated. I'd never had been on a deck with Ray, and
He's so nice though. He's super nice guy.
that's what I learned. I mean, he came up to me and he showed me this thing I could do with my camera, where I could like take tape and tape down little things and make it sync quicker than it could out of the factory, and that changed my whole game. When he did that, suddenly my stuff started looking better. And so
Yeah, Ray's awesome. He's given me a lot of tips as well. I always knew though, when he was on deck shooting, that was his bread and butter. So it was like I was not going to get in his way. I would save a place for Ray if he needed it. I mean, but in turn, he's given me a lot of feedback and a lot of tips. So
Giving advice or getting advice, like when you're a photographer to another photographer, is a lot like walking up to somebody in the gym and being like, if you do this way, it'd be better for you. And it's like, it's always kind of hit or miss, because some people can't really take constructive criticism.
mm-hmm.
Or,
yeah, I think everybody's always been super good about giving constructive criticism and I'm always welcome. I mean, I always welcome it.
Well,
That's
I will
great.
say that like when I first started out and decided I was going to do this every day, Chris Hooten was the person I saw the most down in Venice, and he was the first and only photographer to like really kind of be like, hey, you should try this, you should try that. And I actually one day,
now you get rid of all that stuff, and
I remember one day he had this whole super rig, and I was so like, whoa, this rig is so cool. I took a picture of it with my camera, my cell phone, and when I went home, I just like Googled everything he had and went and bought it. I was like,
now neither one of us use that anymore.
no, dude, I can't deal with it. I can't deal with any on-camera flash whatsoever.
That's
But
cool. So you guys,
it's nice
you
if
guys used to shoot near each other in the beginning?
Yeah, he was there a lot. Lauren was there
Lauren's
sometimes.
there, yeah.
And then Brian was there a lot, Avarilla. He's super nice too. I mean, it's cool when you have like a group of people that all share a common interest and they will like talk to you. Of course, everybody kind of has their line in the sand where you're like, well, I'll tell you this, but I'm not telling you how I did that. You know. I mean,
I don't have that. I don't think that gear or lighting or even lighting technique is what makes it unique. I think I could set up a shot and I could hand it to every one of you and you would all make a different shot than me.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You know, I think it's like the way you hold it, what you see something different than what I see.
I don't know. I think there's just different levels of like, because people, I'm sure you guys all get it too. A lot of people just DM me like, oh, what lights do you use? What lens do you use and stuff? And, you know, generally I'll go and look at their page, and if they have like 300 or less followers and they're really not that good, I'll help them. But if I go to their page and their shit's pretty good, I'm like, yeah, whatever, bro. You figure it out.
I always help everybody. I don't care.
Lauren says I'm way too competitive, but
I'm trying to get
You
Jim
think
Goodrich
so?
in here.
Trying to get who?
Jim Goodrich.
Oh, wow. That would be, he's one of the, yeah. No, I've always gotten really good advice. I mean, Ted Terrible and I mean, Michael Chantry, people who've been around a long time, they've just been really open and helpful and supportive. So,
Yeah.
MRC.
I'm glad you got a lot of support, Lori. That's good to
shut your
hear.
mouth, Lauren.
I mean, I have from you guys in this group, but anybody else, forget it.
Really?
Well, I think girls.
Yeah.
I think girls have a whole different problem in venturing into shooting skating.
Why is that?
They hate me.
Oh, I think that skateboarding is just a male-dominated, testosterone-laden world, and we don't have a lot of time for, people that are not necessarily part of the scene. And then, I think they have an extra level of, like, they have an extra level of having to prove themselves or whatever. Whether
have
it's fair or not, I mean, it's part of it.
I have to say, I came in, I mean, Scott Foss brought me into this and he gets instant respect. So just being with him, I think that had a lot to do with it. So,
I mean, that being said, you could be a guy too. And it's like, skating is just skating. If you're a kook, nobody's going to want you around, So it's all about understanding skate etiquette and, trying not to be in the way and shit, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I don't remember who I was talking to. I talked to Hosoi a lot about stuff, and he was like, yeah, Chris, people talk like you're that guy that shows up and has way too many lights and they're always in the way, but the photos are okay. So,
well, if they want a good shot, if they want the best shot,
My favorite piece of advice from Hosoi was, I went up to him a while ago and I was like, Christian, is there any way you can help me like get into vans? And he looks at me and he goes, I'm going to tell you just like I tell all the skaters, just keep ripping.
He's been super supportive for me. He's been like the one skater that's been so supportive.
That's great. That's great.
That's cool.
Freddie, what have you been doing?
I was gonna ask because you guys all shoot vert. Like I shoot streets, so I've had a lot of support from that scene. Like Chris Ray actually met him. He helped me out a little bit. Paulo Macedo from Brazil too. Actually, he's been more of a mentor to me as well. So
that's awesome. Yeah, it's funny. A lot of the foreign people they have a different demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
a lot of, I mean, the Brazilian skaters are always fucking amazing people, super nice.
That's cool.
I'm moving my car, so I'm in the light.
I was looking, like looking at your background, and like it seems light where you are still. It's like at my house
There we
it's
go.
dark.
There we go. Okay, a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, do you prefer shooting street, or is it just that you just kind of fell into it and that's where you are, or do you prefer one or the other?
It's just because like I skate street.
Oh,
Like I started skating. So I'm so used to that terrain that it's just kind of natural.
yeah.
And then getting into vert, like it's new to me because I had never skated it. So it's just kind of like you already have that feel of getting the tricks down, but it's just finding the rhythm. So it's like learning a whole nother side of skating.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I predominantly was a street skater, so I understand it, but it's weird that, I mean, my obsession obviously is with vert and pools and stuff, but I just kind of got so locked into it that now I'm having a hard time crossing back in, getting into street. Also, street is highly dominated by, you know, Rhino, Swift, Atiba. You know, it's really hard to like break into that side. Also, it's a lot of work, and you get kicked out of a lot of places, and you got to climb a lot of fences, bro.
I'm out.
I like backyards.
I'm out. Oh,
Dude, I was hopping a fence with some skaters, and the dude was like, I was like, I got to climb this fence. He's like, yeah. I was like, dude, I'm too old for this. He goes, what are you, like 35? I'm like, bro, I'm 49. He's like, damn, you're old. which made me want to get over that fence even better. I was like,
Do you think that with skateboard growing as a sport that there'll be more and more skateboard photographers, both street or transition, and it'll get kind of, there'll be less icons, so to speak?
no, because
I don't think so, because they're getting stricter and stricter with getting in to shoot places and everything. I don't think so.
I mean, I just think that there can be a million people trying to do it. There's always going to be only a handful that are really good at it and active. I mean,
But do you think that with people, like I was at Amelia's house a while back, and she was saying she literally watched them create the Japanese team, that she saw them at the training facility and they were a certain level, and literally months later, it was as if they were skating for quite a long time. If the world takes on skateboarding, won't there be a lot more good skateboarders around the world?
well, I think that other countries outside of America see skateboarding as any other sport now, where there's a potential for, you know, making it out or making some money off it. I think a lot of the other countries take it way more seriously because they are so, you know, eager to expand out of where they are and come to America, where I think a lot of American skaters just kind of take it for granted because it's just here, you know.
But don't you think that a great skater from, say, Brazil or Japan, that they love skateboarding the exact same way that we all love those that skate?
For sure. I don't think there's any less love for it. I just think that other countries, like, you know, I mean, you're talking about Japan, it's like they set up entire colleges for gaming because they take it seriously, like it's a viable way to make money and earn a living.
Yeah.
Whereas here in the States, like you tell, you know, when my kid was like, oh, I'm going to be a pro gamer, I was like, well, you better do some dishes.
Right. But it is a big thing out here. I mean, I have a lot of friends in that industry. It's possibly bigger than Hollywood. I mean, gaming's huge.
Gaming's huge. My son works in the industry, and right now they're doing extremely well.
Yeah, if you're an artist, like, and you go to college, et cetera, it's likely you'll end up in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
Well, I like how, like you talk about the Japanese skaters and stuff like that. It's making the American skaters up their game.
Yeah.
You know, because these people are taking it serious.
So the sum total, though, is going to be larger, is what I'm saying. You know, that you're going to have, you can't be everywhere. You know, like there's going to be scenes in Brazil and Japan and Spain. It's not going to be centralized anymore, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I think obviously they're really pushing the park series, like that format, which I think is cool because at least it has tranny in it. But you know, vert is not getting recognized. Largely, I think because they can't monetize the like viewing of it because people don't understand what they're seeing per se.
Right.
Skater, you know.
It's difficult to train for that because people don't have access to, you know, in the world, there's not a vert ramp everywhere. And as far as compared to how many skate parks there are.
Well, if this Corona thing lasts long, I'll bet there's going to be a lot more backyard ramps popping up.
Oh, for sure.
It's already, you can't even go to the parks right now.
It's going to last.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that. It's not going to be 6 weeks or 4 weeks. They just tell you that every 4
Yeah,
weeks.
we're looking at months, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's going to last. I mean, yeah, and a lot of people are going to have to do a lot of DIY, which is fun. You know, we built a bank in my backyard. We have a pretty nice half pipe. You know, we built a bank, and it's great, great fun. You know, things sometimes get better when they go basic.
Dude, I love all the indoor stuff people are doing in their houses right now. Like slides on the coffee table.
Yeah.
Volleying off his stairs into the couch.
Can Freddie hear us? Oh, Freddie's gone. Oh, there he is. Freddie, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I don't know how to speak on this thing. I've never been on this Zoom.
Oh, we can hear you fine.
There we go. We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Since we're on the Today Show.
Hello, internet time. Freddie, have you been shooting or what?
A little bit here and there, just on my weekends when I go skating with the crew. Yeah.
Are you still going? I mean, you can't go skating right now, though, right?
I can't, no. The last time I had my camera out was last weekend when I was out with my parents, but
okay.
Skating, no.
I'm glad you're
Yeah,
home
it's been a
safe from
bummer.
that.
Yeah, it was a really good trip. But yeah, no skating. I was hoping to go this weekend, but looks like that's on a hold. So we'll probably just shooting around some landscape stuff with Kale.
Cool.
So I picked up a camera from my dad. My dad had a medium frame camera, and I'm pretty stoked to try and shoot with that thing. It looks like it's gonna be pretty cool.
Awesome.
You've been doing. I mean, you've been skating so many years, and you know, it just seems like you are a natural. Your stuff is good. Stuff is really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's almost time to be expired from skating, so I figured trying to shoot would be the next natural thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Start surfing.
Start surfing.
I'll
If you fall,
drown.
it doesn't hurt when you fall.
How did you get in here?
I mean,
Who invited Jim Gray to this meeting?
I don't know.
God.
I'm Jim Gray. Who the hell are you?
Well, hello, everybody.
Okay, it's all
Hi, Jim.
good hell now.
All hell's breaking loose now.
Yeah. Now it's a party.
Oh, dude.
Well, good evening,
This ain't no damn
folks. Thank
podcast.
you, Chris. I've never used this before, and it's funny. 5 minutes ago, someone sent this to me for some, like, we have some music person having a Zoom thing, so I downloaded Zoom 3 minutes before you freaking sent me that text, Chris.
Yeah, how many? I did not invite you. How many 360s have you done today?
I did.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Hi, Lori. I can't see you because you're dark. And hello, Chris.
I will say
Freddie. Mwah.
Jim
Hello.
Gray.
Hello. Is it Mariah or Maria?
Mariah.
Mariah. Hello. Hi, nice to meet you, Mariah. The only face I don't know in here. It's nice to meet you.
Jim Gray is important to me because he was one of the first people to actually like post any of my pictures. So.
I'm not important to anybody, but hey.
You're important. I just don't like your dog because it always humps my leg.
No, you beg my dog
like
to
it.
come to your leg is what you do.
You like it.
That dog smells like old
Hi, Lauren.
clothes.
Hi.
So what's happening? What have you guys been talking about?
You?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Jim Gray.
We're like, have you seen Jim Gray's shorts? They're so small.
You're talking about old pictures. Look, actually, I'm wearing exercise shorts. So they are.
Oh, dude.
Oh.
I haven't even gotten dressed today as I've been laying around all day long. So I'm just going to lay here and be a lounger. So
I'm sure glad you're here.
Jim, we don't need that visual.
Oh, shut up, Fred. You'd be the first one running your hand up my leg.
I was telling everyone how I once took a picture of you through Freddie's legs.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty good picture.
Oh
actually.
yeah, that's right.
And we have the picture out from the other side of it too.
And I did not look through the lens.
Oh.
So how long has this meeting been going?
I don't even know.
An hour.
Is there a timer on it? It's being recorded too.
So am I the ender? Am I the ender? I get to came in and crush the meeting, destroy it, throw it off.
Yeah. I'm losing light, so I'm gonna get going. But this is awesome. And,
thanks for joining us.
I look forward to seeing what happens after I leave on YouTube. So.
Well, it was nice to almost see you, Lori, because you're pitch black.
I know. So anyway.
I'm sorry you had to look at me, but sorry. Somebody else invited me.
Oh, come on now.
I know.
Right.
She knows I love her. Well,
all right.
Missed you.
I'll see you guys later.
See you later, Lori.
All right. Bye.
Bye, Lori. Bye.
Sorry if I made that awkward for everybody. So.
Well,
I did it. That's why I did it.
You're such a fucker, Chris. Pardon my language.
I had to drop the gym bomb in here.
that's awesome.
So we've been talking about skateboard photography.
Yeah, everything's skateboarding.
Everything's skateboarding. I've ridden a couple of those things. They're fun.
How's your podcast going?
I don't know. I've posted 21 episodes. I have a few more that I haven't edited yet. So I guess I should have done one with Jeff Grosso, but that's a little too late. But bad taste, I suppose.
That would have been good.
No, we actually talked about it. We were going to do it. Actually, I'm setting up a GoFundMe right now to help raise some money for his kid. So that's going to be good. So
Yeah.
I figured no one else would do it, so I freaking put the feelers out there, and his ex-wife and Steve Van Dorn were both stoked, and so.
Right.
Radically different viewpoints from ours in a position of power in our life.
Who's listening to the news?
That was awesome.
Is that Claudia?
I'm so sorry.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Hey, Claudia.
Hi.
How you doing?
Fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Do you know everybody here?
Hi, Jim. Hi, Lori.
Hello, Claudia.
Hi, Freddie.
Hi, Claudia.
I'm checking Lauren out now. Look at that spaghetti strap she's wearing. Woo!
Oh, God.
Sorry, I'm just scrolling. I've never used Zoom before, so I know that was so mean. I'm sorry. What, Freddie? Jim. Well, you're the first one I stared at. That beard, I wanted to pet it. I wanted to feel those dreadlocks. I have a feeling I'm throwing this whole thing off right now. You guys are probably having a great conversation.
No. There's no rhythm to this thing. It's just free talking, texting, talking.
Well, this is the new world since we can't see each other anymore.
Right?
I know.
Look at Claudia has a photo set up there.
That's silly. I set it up and I don't know how to take it out. It's a thing in Zoom that you set up a background, and it was kind of creepy because there's someone looking.
Oh shit! Oh wow, that is pretty rad. I can see that.
There's somewhere to take it out. I don't know.
You've got a stalker in your Zoom profile. That's interesting. How many of you guys have used this before?
This is my
Chris and I.
Used it.
Yeah, I never have. I literally seriously downloaded it 5 minutes before Chris texted me.
Yeah, I had to download it to even get started in here. So
amazing. Technology has come so far.
Yeah, isn't it cool?
Yeah.
Remember, we used to we start getting art over the internet on our modem, and it would take 20 minutes to get a 1 megabyte logo, and it would fail 15 times before it came through.
Like your 24 baud modem.
Yeah, now you could send that file in about a quarter of a second. Exactly. I'm old, people. That's where the gray came from. So.
Hey, dude, I had a Commodore VIC-20 and used to take the old phone and put it on a crate.
I did that. So that's actually the first thing that kind of got me ahead in the mortgage business. Is we had a modem with an earpiece thing, and we dialed in to do the disclosures when people got home loans. You had to put it in the modem thing, and it would ask you questions over it. And it would say the number of years of the loan you'd enter, and you'd have to wait for it to ask the next question. And I got ahead in life because I learned that you didn't have to wait for it to ask the question, and I answered all the questions before it asked them. So with the girl's job I took over, she used to do, took her 8 hours a day to do it. I did it the first half hour I got to work, so they let me start doing other stuff. And I found
That's
out
awesome.
that horoscopes and all that stuff. And it was really, they had horoscopes. Like, so it was like a early computer because you were connecting it to a computer. And I remember the screeching sound, but I didn't even know what the hell that was because we'd never heard the term modem before.
Right.
But that was probably like 1982 or something like that.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah, 82.
Hey, Jim.
Yes.
Who's your favorite photographer in skateboarding? We want to know.
Well, I think it's Chris, Hada, DeSoto, Claudia, Lauren, Jay Grant Britton. No, he's not on here. We can leave him on. But
I invited him. He didn't show up.
How could I have a favorite photographer in skateboarding? There's so many great photographers in skateboarding.
I agree.
And I can say, okay, as one of those subjects of a lot of photography and skateboarding, having been a pro skateboarder, I mean, I think
you were a pro skateboarder?
Yeah, I know. I was a very bottom of the barrel pro skateboarder like you.
No way, bro.
But hey, I've been very fortunate to have been shot by many photographers, and it's awesome. I mean, it's an amazing art form. I respect a lot. I've only taken like 2 good skate shots in my whole life. I take a cute picture of a flower, but that's about it. But
Jim, I think I got you beat in the bottom of the barrel thing.
Oh, I don't know about that, Fred Word.
I think so, dude.
Does anyone else agree that Grant Britton is probably the godfather of skate photography?
Yep.
Yeah, I think the first recognized one was probably Warren Bolster.
It was shooting before Grant, though. It wasn't.
Grant worked at Del Mar Skate Ranch, so that was into the like late 70s, 80s. But Warren Bolster in Skateboarder Magazine, that was mid to late 70s. That was the real early stuff.
Jim
Jim
Cassimus too, right?
Yeah, Jim Cassimus, even Jim Goodrich. They were all a little bit out there before Grant. It's just that skateboarder ran such a short course. I mean, it was only a few years from like 75, 76 to 78, 79 ish.
79-ish, yeah.
Yeah, so it was super influential, but a really short stint. I mean, the crazy thing about that era of like 75 to 79, it's like decades worth of memories amongst all the guys that came on and guys like me that got into skateboarding have still done it to this day. So much of the history occurred in that zone between like 77 and 82 or 83. Almost everything since then has just been a repeat, an addition, a twist, a combination of stuff. Almost every trick was invented, so on and so forth. So those guys were definitely the pioneers out there. But I'd say when Grant and those guys started doing it, and we started getting the Thrasher Transworld combo against each other, stuff like that. That's when you really started getting more photographers, and it was expanding wider. And you had Bryce Knights and just these different guys at Thrasher and Grant, and then eventually Dave Swift. So the guys started coming in because they were just like underlings helping out. And, so
yeah,
kind of went from there.
That's the
what are you guys texting each other?
I'm not at liberty to discuss what.
I just assumed.
Well, I know that old Skateboarder Magazine, Early Action Now, is the whole reason why I shoot skateboarding now. I enjoyed those magazines when I was a kid so much, and seeing everybody in those. So.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I honestly don't even look at skateboard magazines anymore. If anything, I might flip through them. Probably the last 10 years, I barely looked at them. But back then, every word, every picture, every page, every caption. There's a few of those people like Lance Mountain's an encyclopedia. I've been skateboarding in his backyard, and someone would bring up like a trick, and I kind of would remember a one-footed car, blah, blah, and he'll like tell you the name and the year and the issue, and he'll go inside and grab a bound book of that year of magazine. He'll pull out the magazine, flip to the page, and show you. There's the guy's name. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. I guess it helped that you never had a real job in your life, but
Hey, Don.
Hey, Don.
Hey, thanks. Ken invited me. Thank you, Ken. I just got on.
Okay.
Hey,
We're glad to have you here.
How are you?
Good to see all you guys. Fantastic.
Yes, you are. Fantastic.
What have you been doing, Don?
Since I'm teaching in the high schools, we've been spending an insane amount of time the last 2 weeks trying to bring everything we do online.
Yeah.
And it's been a huge learning curve. I'm relearning my job all over again. It's crazy.
Right.
Jim, stop looking at yourself.
Are you using are you using
I'm
Zoom
looking
to
at
do
Lauren.
it,
What are
Don?
you talking about, Chris?
Yeah, we're using Zoom. So this is like my 5th Zoom meeting of the day, actually. That's why I was able to hop
Sorry to
on.
bring you into the Zoom fold again.
Exactly. Well, I saw it. It's like,
I'm a
oh,
Zoom
Zoom meeting.
virgin.
Oh, my computer's already open. I'm ready to do this. So.
Yeah, I got Jim and Don stacked on top of one another, and it's amazing how much they look alike.
Yeah. Little salt and pepper going on there. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys all look alike.
I hope you guys are shooting as many screen grabs as I am, so I can heckle you guys later on in social media.
Yeah.
There's Freddie. Okay, I've got to go smile one time. Okay, ready? Now I got Freddie, Chris, and Claudia. Smile, everybody. Come on, you're on there.
It's like some weird Brady Bunch thing.
I know there's some weird Brady Bunch.
Oh, exactly.
Okay, now I have it's Mariah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you, Chris, and Kenna. Everyone smile. You guys are all going to be on Instagram later.
Awesome.
Okay, you only have like 10 followers.
There we go. That's gonna get
14, man. Come on. You under 4 of your aliases. You're following me under 4 different aliases. So
Yeah, I cyber stalk you, Jim.
Chris the stalker, Chris the photographer.
I need to keep track of how many 360s you're doing in your warehouse.
Oh, wait, where's Coco? Coco, come say hi to Chris.
So is everybody, I mean, when we're thinking of being like hunkered down for like 4 weeks, I can deal with that. But when I see news saying, what, everything's still going up and up and up, and this might go till August or September, does that freak you guys out? Because I'm kind of getting freaked out when I think of going past
I'm
like
freaked
May.
out.
I could deal with May, you know what I mean? But this is kind of making me, every day it's just going up and up, and they're like, nope, May's too soon. Might be June, might be July. We'll have a second round in September. And I'm thinking, what are we going to do for the rest of the year?
I have a trip. I have tickets that I bought for a friend's wedding in England in July. I bought it last year. I still didn't unschedule. I still didn't cancel it because I'm hoping I can still go, but it's in July.
You should call them up and tell them to give you some of your money back so you can go for less price.
Well,
Yeah.
That's true.
Exactly.
I haven't tried
I've
that.
definitely done that already with Southwest. I've gotten discounts twice now.
Yeah, I've heard like there's tickets like $20 across the country.
I believe
I don't know. I just don't think people are gonna deal with it for more than 4 weeks. I think our economy is gonna almost collapse in 4 more weeks. I think we'll get civil unrest somewhere because while you may live in Newport Beach, the truck will keep delivering the thing. When you're in Detroit, in a scary neighborhood, there's a point when the truck driver may go, I ain't going there unless you give me a police escort, and they start running out of food. You're going to get a gnarly situation somewhere. And I don't know. I mean, it's going to be, there's too many businesses that are like, they're not affected, where they're like, how do we stop working? How do we keep our people off work? How do we, I mean, is the government really going to be able to feed everyone? I'm not, just there's just questions that I have.
Is everyone enjoying their 30-day free trial of socialism?
I think it depends. Like, where's that where you guys live? Talk about where you live, what they're doing. Like around here, I don't feel a crackdown. I went for a 20-mile bike ride this morning, past 1 million people, and not no crowds anywhere, but I mean, there's people out there, past lifeguards, cops, everyone waves, says hi. There's no like, go back in your house, stay out. It's like, or stay, stay
it's
inside.
different in Orange County than I think it is in like LA or
I think
San
so. And even
Diego.
San Diego, I hear San Diego, they set foot on the beach and there's $1,000 fine.
Yeah, you can't surf
Well, they
like
closed
you can.
closed all the like parking lots to beaches and to parks and stuff. So if you go park in one of those parking lots and head out into the park, there are police going there and saying, hey, turn around and go home.
Well, on the weekend, Newport closed the boardwalk. They did. My son works for the city, and he had to stand there at one of the things and go, hey, the boardwalk closed, but they put fences up. But then they took them down again during the week. So the locals are just down there walking on the boardwalk again. And there's not a lot of people out, believe me. It's very sparse, but
yeah, there's no traffic. It's sick.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've gone places that take 20 minutes in like 6 minutes. It's pretty incredible.
Hey, Chris,
when you're
taking your shots, have you noticed the sky is more blue lately?
Oh, Catalina's never been clear.
A lot less chemtrails. They're not doing that shit anymore.
Yeah.
I stood on the beach the other day and literally it looked like I could reach my hand and touch Catalina.
Right.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Okay.
too.
I'm back, but I don't see my picture.
We see your picture.
I see your
Oh,
picture.
I'll do the thing. I'll do the.
Why don't you push video?
Ask
like
to
you're
start video.
supposed to?
Lori
Okay,
has a pearl
there we
neck.
go. Okay, so I
There is
found
a-
some.
there
I
you
mean,
go.
that's as good as I can do. Sorry.
There you go. Hey, Laura.
That's cool. We're glad you're back.
Welcome home.
Boy, that was weird.
Oh, well, shut up. Would you stop?
And by the way, you know, you are all welcome to whatever drinks you have in your house,
Yeah, I got
alcoholic
that.
or not, or whatever it is. There you go. You know,
I have water in my car. So.
Cheers.
I'm on the water. So
What happens if you minimize this to check like a text message or something? Does it stay on or do you have to like reconnect?
we just watch you checking your message probably. Go ahead and try it. We'll tell
All right, I'm
you.
gonna see what happens. All right, so
We'll
can
let you know
am I
what
still
happens.
pretending I'm there?
I can hear you, but I can't see you now. It went
There's a
to your,
picture in your place.
yeah, your picture.
Some sort of an icon.
Oh, Matt, wait, who's this? Dawn is there. Hi,
Hey,
Dawn.
Lori.
How's it
I know.
going?
I just joined about 10 minutes ago.
And then, okay, so we got Claudia. I'm not sure I know Claudia. Join, anyway. And there's
Claudia,
Freddie.
Lauren, Claudia.
Freddie.
Let's see.
Me either.
And
Hey,
Mariah,
Mariah.
I don't think I've met you before. Hey, Freddie, I have met you. Let's see. Who else we got? Oh, Claudia, I've met you.
Yes.
You've seen
My
most
name
of
is
us
Jim.
before.
Yeah.
Dawn, what are you up to? Are you teaching classes virtually or how?
Online. Yeah. We just, Monday is our soft opening to actually have the kids allegedly log into classes and stuff. But I will tell you this, the last couple of weeks have been optional. And I have 160 students all day. I've had like 6 of them interacting with me this last 2 weeks. The other
Where do you teach?
154 are on vacation. Mount Carmel High School. I teach photography there. Yeah,
Where's that at? Is that San Diego?
Yeah, and kind of by Poway.
Del Mar?
Penasquitos, Poway, Inland on 15.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's in the Poway Unified District, and I'm just putting goofy assignments up there. I'm assuming half my students don't have cameras, so I'm doing things where they can use their cell phones, and I'm having them download Lightroom mobile and do stuff with their phones, take pictures and do strange things with them. Just have fun for now. And then when we start actually grading at the end of the month, we're going to have, real assignments that we'll be grading them. However, I do expect, I'm hearing through the grapevine anyway, that we're not going to give real grades. We're going to do all pass fail to the end of the year.
Awesome.
What grade do you teach though?
9 through 12, high school.
But how does that work pass fail when you have GPAs you need to calculate for college?
I don't know if you saw the notice today. The UC system, the whole UC system and the state system both said.
I've got homeless people wandering by.
Yeah, there you go. They said all the people in this fall, the seniors who are going to be applying for college, they're not going to require SAT or ACT scores, and they're not going to require any grades from this last 2 trimesters.
Wow.
So it's just a matter of getting our seniors passed and graduated for the most part.
Well, just FYI, my kid worked for the Irvine School District, and he's the same thing. They are trying to do the at-home stuff, and they haven't really kicked in, and Monday's supposed to be their start as well. They've had very sporadic as they're trying to educate parents, get equipment to people, do whatever, and so they're trying to kick in
We
Monday.
just passed out, I think this week, 250 computers to kids throughout the district.
Wow.
Trying to get laptops into the hands of some teachers are not technologically up to speed on this. Luckily, I was already completely paperless. I do everything on Google Classroom. So I have all my assignments, all my quizzes, everything that needs to be turned in, photos, Photoshop, Lightroom, everything is all through Google Classroom. So for me, it's a pretty easy transition. I just point to my Google Classroom assignments and we're right back in business. So.
That's great.
So I have an idea for all you skateboard photographers. We need to set up a virtual skateboarding session. So you invite like 4 photographers and 4 skaters, and the skaters put their cameras up in wherever they're skating, and you guys have to take like screenshots while they're skating.
Yeah,
that'd be
great.
See who can do the best screenshots of somebody doing something on the computer. That'd be awesome.
There you go.
It would be. I would get out my DSLR and actually shoot the screen as you guys are moving.
Why not?
You'd probably get a better capture than trying to screen capture it. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I was just picturing that, looking at everybody's camera, seeing if somebody just had theirs on a tripod and they were in here and they were skating. You guys could all just critique their skating and take pictures. So
I heard
pretty sick.
Everybody here knows that this is going to end up on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
oh shit.
I've got police cruising. I might get kicked out of here soon, but anyway.
I already talked about how Freddie liked to rub
That's
his drip
awesome.
on my legs. I probably shouldn't have said that.
I heard that the Dew Tour is at least
I love you, Freddie.
What about the Dew Tour?
they said they're going to have it in September, but it's going to be inside the CATF with no audience.
Oh, well, that's going to be exciting.
That's got to affect the athletes.
Yeah.
Because
Maybe
the
by
athletes,
then they'll
what are they
put
going to have the
Mickey Mouse
athletes
everywhere.
standing like 10 feet apart, and so they're all ringing the pool and stuff, or what?
I don't know, but
that's weird.
How come Lauren's screen isn't working?
Because I teased her about wearing a spaghetti strap.
Oh, Jim.
What? What, Jim? You wearing a thong?
I teased her about wearing a spaghetti strap.
Oh, yeah. Lauren, your video's
I'm
not
not
on anymore.
I guess bad dress code. Yeah, it kicked me out of that, and I'm clicking on it, but it's not connecting now. So, but I'm on the phone. I'm trying to get back in.
You can hear us, right?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Cool.
That's cool. We don't need to see you.
Yeah, you definitely don't need to see me right now. You'll be better off for sure.
So, Jim Gray, what's it like? What's the workload for these podcasts? Are you doing it all yourself, or are you having somebody do that?
I had my friend's kid agreeing to try to help me, but I gave up on him because he couldn't come through. So I've edited every single one myself and record the commercials, you name it, upload it. It's all me, and it sucks because it takes too much time. I don't have the time.
It's a large workload, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But it's fun.
Yep.
Chris actually helped me. Chris actually sat and helped me edit stuff, and that was fun.
Cool.
You know.
Yeah, I just started adding in like bird effects and cars peeling out. It was sick.
Oh, there's so much stuff I'd love to do that I'll never get done. It's pretty boring. It's just pretty, here you go, boom, throw the ad and push it. I would love to be doing wacky sound effects, and I would love to learn how to be funny, actually. That would be kind of cool. You know, but,
there you go. That would be really funny if you were funny, Jim.
Yeah. I think the best skill you could learn for your podcast is to shut up and let people talk.
Yeah, that's true. I absolutely agree with that.
That'll never happen.
Jim ask somebody a question like, so what's it like skating at Vans? Well, I really enjoy. Well, I in 1975 did 23 kick turns in the fucking army.
You know what? You could probably
get a
right now. I'm not talking for 5 minutes, so fuck you guys. Go ahead. I'm talking for 5 minutes. Get 5 minutes right now. Just rip me a new one.
Jim, if you could be quiet for 5 minutes, I got $10 that says you can.
Dude, I matched Freddie's 10.
Done. That's funny.
You guys are so mean.
So, you probably get a different, interesting listenership or viewership if you just call it something like guests trying to get words in edgewise. Look, he's biting his fingers now. It's great.
I love this. This is great. This is I haven't talked to this many people in what, 3 weeks at one time.
Kind of lonely, huh? Thanks for inviting.
I'm telling you guys should take up surfing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good time to do it.
Jim, that counts as talking if you're doing sign language.
Anyone that reads sign language.
I got you.
I love it. I'm trying to get somebody else in here.
Who's coming? Who's coming? Who's the next victim?
I was just trying to find, I'm trying to get Russ in there. I think he might have gave up. I was trying to get Robin Logan.
He was trying.
Jim, this is for you.
I wonder.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to find other photographers. I don't know who else. Hey, so does anyone else acknowledge the fact that you can totally follow other photographers, support and like all of their photos, and they just completely ignore you?
Uh-oh. I think back. Well, I know that doesn't happen with me because anybody who ever likes anything I do, I'm like jump all over them so fast. I'm like, dude, thank you. It's only so many people who see my
feel
work,
it's mutual.
You know?
I feel it's mutual. It's yeah.
A good shot is a good shot.
I actually kind of feel weird because it's been so long since I've actually put any real skateboard stuff up online because I haven't been able to make stuff. Since I got this job, it's been 24/7 teaching. So,
right.
It's been a weird couple of years for me.
Oh shit, Don! I just followed you back.
Awesome. Yeah, see, I had follow requested. Right there, you are. I see it. Great.
I'm trying to keep my follow numbers down. You know.
Good. That's
Sweet.
good.
That's awesome. Cool. See, this meeting was for something, Ken. It worked out.
Well, that's what I was hoping everybody kind of mingle, you know.
Does everybody acknowledge that likes and follows are the new currency of the world?
The new currency.
So does everybody have enough toilet paper? I mean,
yeah, I have enough.
Did you think it would be toilet paper that brought down this country?
We were running out until this morning. My husband woke up like 6 o'clock in the morning and went to the store. We were down to our 2 last rows for 2 bathrooms with people.
It's crazy.
And we just got
my wife was ahead of the curve on that. About a month ago, she was like, hey, go to the store and see if you can find toilet paper. I'm like, what are you talking about? We have plenty. And she's like, no, just go find some toilet paper. And then when I came home the next day, I finally realized that apparently there was a run of toilet paper. I was in the store going, what the hell? All the shelves are empty. How'd that happen? This was a few weeks ago before the world changed before our eyes.
All right, it's been 6 minutes. I'm not, I lasted 5.
Holy shit.
Fuck off, Freddie DeSoto.
I remember those 5 minutes.
Oh, hey, look, it's Jim Gray.
Hey, so I have a big mouth. I'm sorry. I was born that way. It's not my fault.
That must have killed you, Jim.
It came in my DNA.
You see what you started, Chris?
Oh, wow.
Hey, Jim, I got $5 for you because you made it so long, okay?
Yeah, that was awesome.
He did promise it.
Yeah, I know none of you have ever witnessed that before, so thank you.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Fuck $5. I'll send you some toilet paper.
That's a much better bet.
You guys are great.
Well, I really have to go because I need to get up and go surfing tomorrow morning with a girl that's like still in her 20s. And she's so.
Oh, well, try being a freaking old washed up skateboarder. You're always getting run over by a 16-year-old, so just deal with it.
Hopefully we'll have some fun footage for you tomorrow. But anyway.
Make Andy take some video of you tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll get some video. So anyway.
Thanks for joining us.
All right. Well, thanks for having me. That was really fun. We should, do it again.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, guys. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Hi, Laura.
Is anyone watching anything good on Netflix right now?
How about Tiger King?
You already saw it.
Oh my God.
That was like 2 weeks ago. There's already memes all over the internet.
Yeah, I know. That's what I've been paying attention to that. Then my kid told me about today, so I flipped it on. Now I'm like 6 episodes in. I'm like, seriously, really?
Well, there's only one left.
So good.
I know. So it's all over. Kind of reminds me of skateboarding.
Wait, who's Mariah talking to? Someone's
Russian doll.
Oh,
Yeah, so I don't know, it's kind of a trip seeing you guys because I mean, when am I gonna see you guys on a deck at some event? How long is that gonna take?
2024.
Be a long time.
I know, right?
No, shit.
Yeah, when they have the 2020 Olympics in 2023, then we'll see each other.
I know. I thought it was going to be a couple months until they announced it was a whole year. I was like, wow. Crazy.
Yeah, that was probably a good call because come September, everyone's going to go, dude, this has to go back further.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they would be out of shape and unscheduled and all the events. I mean, can you imagine the coordination it takes to run the Olympics? Jesus.
Not to mention some of the qualifiers might be dead.
Right. Yeah.
Someone actually asked me tonight, how do they pick the team? One of my partners in Powerflex, I'm thinking like, oh my God, nobody really knows. It's so vague and ambiguous and convoluted and, I've tried to listen to it from everyone who ever explained it to me, and I go, so bottom line, in the end, you're going to pick who the fuck you want. Okay, I get it. You know,
it's been 2 years of vague, so you know, I'm hopeful that it worked.
Right.
Well, what frustrates me as a skateboarder, you know, coming from the early days of skateboarding, where skateboarding, like even pros, it was all competitive. You really had to compete to be a pro. No one just walked up one day and flashed your board on Instagram and called you pro, you know?
You had to be all in the contests, yeah.
You had to be in a contest. You had to, or you could not be a pro. So I've always hoped there would be true, free, open qualifiers so kids could earn their talent to the Olympics. And it's definitely apparent that this go round, that's not the case. It's definitely still connections combined with talent, but it's definitely not open. I'm hoping, you know, 4 years from now, there'll be some real system where kids can really earn their way up a ladder to get there, and they don't just choose the cream of the crop and throw them out there based on, you know, marketing.
But do you think that that's the nature of the Olympics or the nature of skateboarding in the Olympics?
Well, I guess at this point, it's the nature of the Olympics now, because you have pro basketball players competing against guys from other countries which can't be pros. I mean, there's a lot of ridiculous things where pros are in the Olympics now. It used to be an amateur only sport, you know. Now we even pay amateurs.
So was it ever, or was it just because we were like young and we thought that it was?
Well, it's a good question. But did we have? I don't know. That is a really good question. Go back to the '70s. Were any of those athletes out there being paid the way they are now? Were they actually professional athletes?
Not the way they are now. I mean, definitely through the '70s, the '70s and '80s, it was all amateur, and it was really just college kids. But
so that's how I see
when was
so
it? Around '88 or '92 when they allowed NBA players to suddenly be in the Olympics? I don't know. It's been 25, 30 years now, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'll hear old stories from guys in the skateboard industry who get really upset at each other because, like, you know, Bob Ballou, my Powerflex partner, and Dave McIntyre, who was the team manager for GNS at the time, they called it Firefats. They have grudges to this day because two of my AMs got paid $25 at a demo, and he insisted they be called pros because they got paid and wouldn't let them enter amateur contests and would put a protest up if they tried. And I mean, they made it a really big deal. If someone took a penny, they were a pro, and no one was allowed to accept it. Now we have amateurs that get paid monthly, you know, that who knows if they'll ever even be pro. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a crazy world we live in.
The NCAA just passed that that sponsorship thing now to where college football and basketball players can actually take sponsorship money, do commercials for themselves now.
Yeah,
I mean, good for them, I think.
It's supposed to be for the use of their likeness by the colleges. That's what the
But like doing Gatorade commercials and stuff, you know. So yeah.
Right.
But that's
so
money.
Hey, back in the early '80s when they did the pro contest, they started a system in the pro contest, like they did in the gymnastics, where they had what they called compulsory run, and that changed the sport at that time too, because it actually kind of kicked out some of the older skaters that weren't able to do some of the newer tricks. So they had a mandatory set of tricks that had to be done in order to move to the next round, which was going to be kind of like an open, like a invert, a backside air, a rock walk, a couple different tricks. And you had to get all of that stuff done within your routine to qualify basically to skate the next round. It was an attempt to try and get skateboarding into the Olympics. Remember that, Jim?
Yep, no, I remember. About half the pros disappeared because they couldn't make it.
Exactly. That's where we lost a lot of the, you know, the Hall of Fame kind of sort of guys because of that allowance.
Okay, Don, I saw that, but I don't know how it works. I don't even know how that works. I'm like, I see it pop up on my screen, but like,
it's so funny. I saw him laughing. I thought there's got to be something going on, so I checked the chat.
No, I actually was checking my text for a second.
Where's that at?
Yeah.
See, there you go.
See, I don't know where that is either.
It's right on the, should be on the bottom. Is that what
he's laughing at something? Okay. Someone in his house, or he just did something.
No.
Dude, that's right from Chris Hooten.
Dude, you guys are all taking this seriously. I'm laying on my couch, so sorry. I'm not. I don't take too much very seriously, so forgive me.
You're definitely reclining. That's right.
I'm just making fun of Jim in the chat room.
It's awesome.
I forgot this is going to go on YouTube. This is going to be awesome. But I was silent for 5 minutes. Remember that. You'll never forget. It's
6.
recorded.
Oh,
6 minutes.
don't
Yeah.
worry, it'll
6.
never be forgotten.
It's gonna be on YouTube proving it.
I'm going to do a podcast called The Jim Silent Show. I'm just going to put 20 minutes of nothing with my logo up there.
You can't do it. You cannot
I can't
do it. It's
do it.
impossible.
It'll probably be the most listened to show I have. I'll just run the commercials and nothing.
You can run clips from this chat.
Right. Good. That would be funny.
Yeah.
Yep.
You said
You'll probably get big sponsorship for that, Jim.
You said
What's that?
You had a few people ask you
probably
to go
get big
shoot, but you didn't
sponsorship.
go. Like, how long do you think you're not going to shoot? Ken.
You're talking, who are you talking? Ken.
Yeah,
not
Ken. I
skateboard,
think
right?
he's asking Ken. Ken.
Oh, what's that?
What do
You
you do
said
for
before
not
you
shooting?
said,
How long are you gonna not shoot? Are you gonna
Yeah.
go do film
Oh.
stuff out in the with
Yeah,
the bees
because
and
it's not gonna change anything if I shoot. You know, even if I shoot with somebody that I know is not gonna get me sick.
You don't know that.
For me, it's not what I should be doing. You know, because we're all in this together, right? So it's like, and what's it gonna matter? Say if I can't shoot for half a year, well, half a year. I mean, I'm 56. I could. When you get older, time goes like a, speedboat. So it's like it's no big deal if I have to wait 6 months or.
It's just a long nap.
Yeah, and I have so many photographs to go through and other things I can do. I write music and I have to make things. I'm always making something. So.
Well, how many like throwback Thursdays or flashback Fridays can we have, Chris?
Well, I'm tired of that.
I know every day is why I'm doing flashback.
That's why I wanted to do this.
One day
I
memories.
wanted to make a thing that was relevant to right now, which is like, well, we can't shoot. We can talk about this thing we love to do.
I mean,
I'll tell you what. I did notice that I was just thinking about this last week. I was going, I have so many external drives full of photos that have never seen the light of day. So I keep thinking that this is at least an opportunity now. I'm pretty happy actually that I can go back through all my old stuff and start pulling it up. So I'm not really doing throwbacks because I'm not putting stuff up that I've already put up. I'm able to actually go through the stuff that I never got to, which is kind of a neat opportunity.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We're all using our free time for something. I mean, we have people learning to play piano and guitar and ukulele and all that stuff too while we're at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a non-photographer's question, because last time I copied like a lot of my photos from one drive to another. I think I had like 375,000 photos.
Yeah.
And that was by like 5 years.
10 of them were
and I
good.
don't think that was everything. How many photos do you guys have? Fuck you, Chris, and whatever you're saying in the chat. I'm not looking at myself. I don't know what am I supposed. I'm looking at everything. What the fuck am I? Dick. Such a dick. No, but like, I mean, how many photos do you guys have? You guys have to have insane amounts of photos.
I can't even. It's just like
Who
dozens
knows?
of terabytes. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's hard. I can't even count. It's
Yeah,
just,
I
I count it in dozens of terabytes. I think at this
Yeah.
point.
I mean,
don't know.
except for Chris, because he takes only one shot because he's so fucking perfect. Oh wait, let's wake up from this dream and get back to reality.
It's not true. Chris Hooten takes a lot of great photos.
Look at that smile.
Oh,
Oh,
different
no.
Chris. I like that. He diverted. You're right. Chris Hooten does take a lot of good photos, but I was talking about you.
Yeah, all my photos are trash, by the way.
Okay, I think we all need to shut up for a minute and ask Ms. Pleasant to speak, because I haven't got to hear her say anything.
That's
You
cool.
guys aren't letting us have a chance.
Just
I
start
know,
talking.
that's why I'm
Just
saying
yell.
it.
Just say something.
What do you guys want to know?
Where are you from?
California. I'm from Cerritos.
Where?
Cerritos.
Cerritos. Cool.
Oh, that's where they got the Auto Square.
They
Yeah.
do.
We're neighbors.
Cerritos Auto Square.
How old are you?
24.
24. Awesome.
Yeah.
Too old for you, Jim.
Shut up. Are you kidding
No.
me?
Not really.
Wow, you guys are ruthless.
Uh,
The last
is
two
really
women I've
good.
dated have been older than me, and I'm 57, okay? So I'm not doing the young, I don't chase young girls.
wait, Mariah, when's the last time you shot?
Well, non-skating related, probably like a week ago, but just like landscape stuff, just to
What
be
about
productive.
skating?
Skating? Before all this kind of went down, probably like 2nd of March, just at the skate park with the locals. Yeah.
Wow. Do you miss it or what?
Yeah, I miss skating. I miss taking pictures of skating, all of that.
Yeah. That sucks. I know. I mean, I like I said, I've shot about 4 times in the last 3 weeks, but even that's like, it's kind of like when you go out and shoot, it's kind of like when you don't eat sugar for a month and then you have a tiny piece of chocolate, it just tastes so sweet. Like when you go shoot, you're just like, holy shit, I'm outside.
Do you think it changes your shot because you're not shooting as much? Like, is it negative or positive or no difference?
Well, it changed because now I'm shooting predominantly long lens because I don't want to be that close to people anymore. So I'm being.
Do you feel that you could catch it from somebody that you're shooting?
All I know for sure is they don't know enough about it, so I'm just gonna be on the. I mean, I'm already going out, which is kind of like probably not a good idea. But when I go out, I try to just minimize exposure to people and not be indoors and stuff. It's either I'm in my car or I'm like where I'm shooting, and then that's it.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it definitely like when you go from shooting every day to like not shooting, yeah, it takes me a second. Like I'm like, well, oh yeah, I need to do this and that. Like all these habits that you really just kind of fall out of if you're not doing it all the time.
Right.
So are you guys scared to go out?
What do you mean by long lens?
Well, just like, you know, a 70 to 200 versus a fisheye.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know, so yeah, I mean, for me, everybody knows, oh, we shoot fisheye all the time. But, but I do love it. I mean,
everybody shoots fisheye all the time.
Yeah, I mean, everything just looks hotter. The whole world looks cooler through a fisheye.
Yep.
It does. At one point, I decided I got a 15 millimeter, like a rectilinear, so it would be more squared out, so it wouldn't have that fisheye look. Because I just figured I might as well do something different. So I shot with that for like 2 years, I think.
Have you ever tried the lens correction in Lightroom?
Yeah, I've tried it.
They look weird, man.
I don't like it.
Well, it restretches it the other way, so you know, yeah.
Yeah. That one dude, Jason Lunn, he loves lens correction, but they just look weird to me. Like it was like this.
The fisheye, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every other lens, I use it, but not a fisheye.
Well, it reverses out the effect that you're getting for even using a fisheye. So why would you do it?
Yeah. So why use
Why
it?
gonna use it? Yeah.
So, can everybody share what lens they're using?
Share what?
Share what lens that they typically use?
For portraits, I use long lens, like 75 to 200, or the prime 85.
Yeah, most of what I do when I'm doing either portraits or even when I'm doing sports, like high school sports, it's an 85 1.8, and I pretty much use that with everything. Since I have the D850, I can actually just go to crop mode if I want to get something farther on the other side of the court or farther out on the field or whatever. So I just have the camera set up to where I can just press a button and switch it really fast, and I pretty much never take that thing off my camera anymore.
Just all the 85.
Straight 85.
The 85 1.8, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Sharp lens.
Anybody else?
It's a sharp lens, and one of the things is when you're working in a stadium like you're doing lacrosse or something at night, the light in a stadium is awful, and I don't like trying to throw a flash halfway across a field either. So I just open it all the way to 1.8 and shoot it at 6400 or 3200, and I'm totally good.
Yeah.
So it works. That's why I keep that on there. It's you know, what is it, it's like 4 times the light that you get out of a 2.8 or something like that. So, you know, double and double again. So it's a huge difference,
Right. And pretty clear at the 1.8 setting.
Yeah, that's what I'm surprised about, is that the 1.8 is just so sharp, even into the corners. It's beautiful.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that one.
I'm taking notes.
Well, we'll get the replay on YouTube, right?
Yeah. Scrutinize it.
Claudia, what about you?
I have to unmute because there are people around, but I was checking because I got the you can't see it because it's this freaking background. But I got the Canon R, and it goes to 40,000 ISO. But I haven't shot in 40,000 ISO to see how grainy it gets.
To see if it's visible.
Right. A lot of times when they go to 40, it looks good up to like what? Not 40, right? The usable ISO as opposed to the highest ISO.
Yeah, I don't know how good until when it goes in look good.
Right.
It's possible to go until 40,000.
Right.
Hey, Mariah, how long have you been shooting, Mariah?
I've been shooting. Well, I started photography like at 5. I shot with film. This is like my first camera here.
Oh, cool. What was that you just put up there in front of us?
The 81.
Got it. Cool.
Here, you guys want to see me get hit in the head? Let's see
of course.
Hold on. Okay, can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see that. Well, except you have to say something now.
That was so rad. Can we do
Oh,
that
it's so
slow
cool they
motion?
caught that.
Hold on. Yeah.
Can we do it
Almost
slow
like we
motion
planned
over
it.
and over again? I'm gonna try that next time I skate with you. That's such a good trick.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that. What are your worst skate accidents that you've been hit? You've all been hit, I guarantee. Right.
Yeah.
So I want to hear some stories.
I don't remember the worst.
I don't remember. I don't like equate them as like which one hurt more or less. I just remember in my mind which skaters have a tendency to flick their boards at me, so I keep an eye out for them when I'm shooting them.
Flick their boards at
Desmond
you.
likes
Your lens hit my
Same,
wheel once.
same.
I call them flickers if they're flick.
Yeah.
Desmond Lane, dude, watch out. Amazing skater. He does rad shit, but he will launch that thing at you.
Remember when I hit your lens? When I was ollieing over the hip and I literally boinked off your lens on the way in?
You're talking about at Chris.
No, at Vans in Huntington, off the hip. You literally took a picture of me and I felt your lens on my wheel.
Oh, yeah, but that was perfect because your wheel just perfectly just bonked my lens hood.
It was a freaky feeling for a skater, let me tell you. Like, thinking like, oh, holy shit, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna freaking instantly stop and be on my face.
No, you are generally, you're safe to shoot because you're not usually in the air.
No, I agree. It's that extra 50-pound. It's that extra 50-pound bag of rock salt I carry around with me that
dude, but when
keeps me from lifting off.
Dude, you went buck at Cam's pool when you you like double trucked and snapped your board on a grind. It was sick.
That was fun.
Jim Gray snapped the board doing a power grind, dude. It was
That's rad.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when there's a lot of vert and not much flat bottom, and you just like ride it to the bottom and you weigh 230 pounds.
When I was talking to Hasoy one day and I was like, yeah, dude, you hit me with your board. He was like, oh, listen, bro, I've hit everybody, man. I hit everybody.
You should be honored, bro. If Holmes hits you with his board, it's like, you're not really a skate photographer till I've taken out a lens.
Dude, no, Hasoy is amazing because he'll like ask me, here, let's get this air, whatever. I'll take a picture and he'll come over and look at it. He'll be like, nah, dude, you need to like go over here and like aim this way. Can we move that light over here? Like he just fully takes over art direction.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I have a tendency to like listen to those kind of guys because they've all been shot by the best dudes. They know what is good.
Yeah, see, exactly. He's channeling Grant.
Yes.
He's just channeling Grant. Whenever you shoot, anyone who shoots him's got to shoot it like Grant. That's right.
Just let it waft on you.
Yeah, Grant's great.
Yeah. He actually in the very beginning, he followed me and I like had a fucking, I shit myself. I was like, no way, fucking grandpa. And so I sent him a message. I was like, oh, dude, so stoked, blah, blah, blah. Can you look at my pictures? And he like went through my account. He actually like hit me back the next day. He goes, look, I spent some time going through your page, and he's like, I'm just gonna tell you, you need to fix your horizon lines. And like
he's a big stickler for a flat horizon.
Yeah, but dude, that one thing really changed my photography. Like a lot of things along the way have like impacted your photography, or when you figure something out or you learn it. But now that like I'm very conscious about trying to have a straight horizon line, I can't stand when I see diagonal shit anymore. I'm just like, it's just unpleasing to my eye. But yeah, that was one solid piece of advice he gave me. And then he unfollowed me. So
that's because I talked to him.
Yeah, Jim, thanks.
I need fresh blood.
Do you think that this is a nerd question, and just being the opposite? I mean, do you really think that you can't get an interesting shot though by skewing that horizon?
I mean,
because doesn't all the shots become the same shot in a sense if you have real rigid rules on interpretation? And
I don't know. I think it's kind of a subconscious thing, because like you see the world, generally speaking, correctly, unless you're sideways or whatever. So when I look at a photo,
that was arch.
I want to.
That's going on YouTube.
Man,
Chris is like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed now.
I gotta go. Bye.
Well, now you identified him, even son.
What were you saying, Chris?
Did I say something?
I said nothing.
Nothing.
I mean,
well, you know what? I think in terms of the horizon line and perspective and all that kind of stuff, I think if you're seeing a photo that's taken from generally at eye level, or even if you're on your knees or whatever, looking kind of down, your horizon line has to be right. But when you start looking up, like you're looking up the side of a pool, or if you're looking up at a fence or something from ground up, then your horizon lines can be all askew, because really when you are looking up, your horizon line is weird. You're laying down, or you're on your side or something like that. So I think you don't notice it as much in a picture that's like from a low angle point of view looking upwards. Then the horizon line is not generally a big deal.
I always like
all kinds of cool angles coming
even
up.
when I'm like, if I hang my arm over the lip and like shoot up, like kind of how you're saying, even so, like unless there's just nothing up there, fine. But the relationship to this, from the skater to the coping, is like what kind of does it for me.
Yeah.
I'll look at a picture, I'll see something on Instagram, and I'll look at it, and then I'll be like, oh, that looks so much better. Like just to straighten it out, even when I don't know. So.
But is that a man-made rule, or is that an actual?
I don't know. I think I mean, there are no rules to photography. Is the number one rule, but as far as like what's aesthetically pleasing, I think there's a lot of unwritten rules.
But like especially Grant with his background, didn't that come from a fine art thing, because people were interpreting, medieval paintings and Renaissance paintings? They begin to see different.
I think it has a lot to do with the dimension, of the image. Like if your horizon line's off, the dimensions are off. Like I want to see, like if I'm looking at your picture right now, those two diagonal lines that meeting behind Ken's head, that looks visually interesting to me, but it's correct. If you were to turn your thing sideways, it would look weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
So you're cutting off parts of the picture.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Keep your horizon line straight. I'm going with the Grant rule.
You can't.
What do you think about that, Lauren?
Fail with that.
I kind of think you should keep the horizon line straight. I mean, I throw out photos that if it's not straight and I can't straighten it, I just throw it out. I won't use it.
I wonder where you
I
learned
think
that.
she was going to give a different answer than that, considering her bestie over there.
I don't know. I used to post a lot of crooked pictures because they look cool to me. Freddie.
Why did they look cool to you at one time?
Well, because I wasn't aware of that rule, so.
That's interesting. So you learned a rule, and that changed wasn't that man-made? That expectation that there's a certain way to do it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like
you have to leave skateboarding right now. There's no rules. I'm sorry. Fuck off.
No, I mean, well, there's no rules, and there are no rules. I'm not saying there's rules.
You're making a rule. You're like you're defying the whole idea. As a
I
skater, I
found
like,
that
any photo that makes my eyes look, that like makes my eyes happy.
Tim, hold on. A photographer's
What?
trying to talk. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I found that almost every, I don't think almost every picture I take, I have to adjust the horizon. I don't know if everybody has this problem, but mine, normally when I'm shooting, I never catch the horizon right. Every single picture I have to adjust the horizon. But sometimes, just because when you look at it and the horizon is right, it gives you a more stability and a more, normally it helps the picture if it is stabilized and you're not looking at it, you're not worried about it, doesn't distract you, and you're looking at what the picture is supposed to show you. But sometimes I found, okay, this picture, the horizon is completely off, but I want it like that because of the movement. And it's rare. Usually the horizon leveled stabilizes it and it gets it out of the way and you don't get distracted by it. And it gets more stable. But there were times when I said, I'm not fixing this one. I like it like that.
Does your camera have a leveler? Because like for like 3 months, I had my level on and I was focused all the time.
I don't know if there is a level, but even if there was, I wouldn't be looking at it.
Why? Do you always look through the lens when you shoot?
Yeah.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah.
There's another rule.
I know sometimes shooting with a fisheye too, it's like sometimes my horizon's like, okay, here's 2 palm trees by the end
Can't
going
tell.
like this.
Yeah, that's because you shoot with an 8mm. The whole world's bent.
I know.
Yeah, but he gets everything.
Because it's looking towards me. No, okay.
It's amazing for selfies.
That's cool.
Chris, do you like if you back out with that 8mm, do you just crop in sometimes, or do you feel like you're consistently moving closer to try to fill your frame with the skater?
My thing is I'm always switching around and switching lenses because I don't want everything to look the same and I get bored. I kind of, as you know, when we go to like bands or something, I'm constantly moving because I don't want 1,000 of the same picture.
Okay, wait. I just want to go back to something right now. Does everyone see Chris Hooten's screen, and does that not bother you that it's diagonal?
The angle at the top, yeah.
That's because I'm underneath the table.
Oh.
Yeah, I did notice that.
You need to straighten out that horizon line, bro.
Chris, are you hiding from somebody? What's going on?
See, on top of here is my Cintiq and everything. So this is what's under my computer.
That's great.
Why are you hiding under your table to be on Zoom meeting with a bunch of photographers is what I want to know.
I'm a troll.
I'm a troll. Dude, Jim Gray's down there. He's just so proud of himself for being quiet.
And I twisted myself so it fucked with your head.
What do you think about Jim Gray's horizon right now?
There is no horizon on Jim Gray's picture.
Dude. Oh my
Hello,
God.
Horizon.
I need my Dramamine.
There you go. Much better.
I'm
Jim.
sorry. Is it disrespectful that I'm sleeping while we talk? You know, like,
there you go. I'll move it up for you.
No, this is a very casual conversation.
Jim Gray, you're looking a little bit red. I think you need some sunscreen.
well, I did go for a 20-mile bike ride today. I did forget to put sunscreen on, so yeah, sorry.
Oh, there you go.
You know, you can't
There you
leave, Jim. You know, you can't leave. Whoa,
A moment of silence.
Yeah. Ooh.
Hey, well, I want to get back at someone cut Mariah off when she was answering earlier, but I wanted to just continue with the conversation. Did you pick up? So I was going to ask if you picked up photography from skateboarding, but it's the other way around, right? Like you've been shooting since you were 4 years old.
Yeah, but I mean, it was actually skateboarding related.
Yeah.
Like my brother, I have a twin brother, so he got a skateboard, and my mom shot film all the time, so I would take her camera and mess with it and pretty much just shoot my brother, you know. But then he doesn't skate as much, and I got more. So I've just been shooting all this time, but I got more into skateboarding photography like post middle school and up to now. So, but I've been shooting for a while, and I study film, so that helps too.
Also, are you doing videos also or no?
Oh Jesus, Chris, he's hurting getting up.
Yeah, I do a lot of video.
You do a lot of video too? I've actually, in all the stuff that I do shoot, I've wanted to try to take up a little bit of video, but the thing is, shooting is like a full-time thing. Like when you're out of space and you're photographing somebody, no matter what it is, I can't even think of setting down the still camera and trying to do any video stuff. I'm worried about missing all the shots I'm trying to get. It's like I'd have to be a whole separate person. People always go, why don't you do video too? And I'm like, well, because I can't stop doing the stills. But so I don't know how I would balance my time out like that. Do you kind of split it half and half, Mariah?
Yeah, I split it half and half. Like I'll film skaters, but then if they're like, oh, I want a shot of this, then I'll shoot them too. So.
Got it.
I've been like recently, I found a really good asset is to make friends with filmers, because if you can, go out with filmers, because a lot of filmers have a lot of good contacts to skaters.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
And if you can find one that's cool and you guys vibe and you can work well together, then they just start hitting you up like, hey, we're gonna go shoot. Do you want to go? And so I've been like piggybacking on a lot of filmers.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Because it's weird to me when photographers if you're going to shoot like a specific skater at a spot, it's kind of hard to deal with more than one photographer.
Right.
In my opinion.
That's why you don't invite me. Oh, sorry.
I mean, it's true. I don't invite anybody.
No, you don't.
No. Hey, listen, Lauren, I took you to plenty of places.
Including me when you go to a good skate spot, fucker.
Dude, I'm sorry, Jim. I was trying to bring people that I thought would actually like do the loop.
Oh, the water park. I might have done the loop.
I know, but there's not a hospital nearby, so. Does anyone else feel bad when they're shooting a skater and he gets hurt doing the trick? Do you feel like you're part of it?
No.
No?
No.
I always feel like they kind of push themselves a little, for the clip or the photo, and maybe they get hurt, and I'm just like, ooh. Especially if I was like, oh, can we do one more? I kind of missed that shot. And then,
then that's your fault. Yeah. No, okay.
Does anyone
I think more often we make stuff we wouldn't have made otherwise because you're shooting. So.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there's that sort of energy. But that being said, there's plenty of times where I get an amazing shot and I just ask them to do it again just because I can. I'm like, yeah, do it again.
Right.
It's fun. And
but you're a dick. That's different.
Well, I mean, there's only so many fun things you can do as a photographer, and one of my favorites is like asking people to check if my flash is working and then hitting the flash button while they're staring at it. I'll be like, "Hey, bro, can you go?" And then, oh, it's so much fun. It just never gets old. What do you
now,
eat?
Did you graduate junior high, or are you still there?
I graduated high school and I made it through 6 months of junior college.
I didn't say high school. I said junior high. Sorry.
Whatever, bro. I got bullied a lot, okay? So I'm trying to make up for it.
What, and you're like 6'9"?
I wasn't tall until 12th grade. I got picked on a lot.
Yeah, okay, I wasn't tall ever, so we're good there.
I mean, each has its advantages, there's not a lot of really old, tall people, so
that's a good point.
A lot of tall people die early because of heart stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, look around. Yeah. It's not just because your back shrinks; it's also because your heart has to work harder.
Because it's moving the blood farther.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, I have knocked myself out at least 14 times by walking into low-hanging objects.
Oh, yeah.
Has anyone gone to the bathroom during this?
No.
Oh, let's do it. Let's go for this, Jim. Let's see this.
I do not want to see Jim Gray go to the bathroom.
Is that an invite?
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me get my macro lens.
Oh, we're gonna sit down, all right?
Oh my God, dude, this is so wrong.
Come on, I'm eating dinner.
This is so wrong.
It's not true what they say about
Hey,
what the lens
it's
does
your
to
fault,
your,
Chris. You're the one who invited me.
I didn't say you had to stay forever.
Apparently, Jim is using a long lens. Everything's distorted.
And look, I have toilet paper.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Man, I guess I'll have another bite.
Wow.
I have like 6 rolls if anybody needs an extra roll. But you know what? Using a roll of toilet paper is not going to be part of this video. Just letting you know.
Yeah, please.
This time, maybe by the 3rd time you guys have done this, if I get invited back again, which I'm sure I won't.
Feel free to put your dumb logo back up while you take a dump.
Your dump logo.
Hey, Jim, we're gonna. I want to do a Skatopia reunion next with this configuration.
I like that.
Yeah.
Did you see that photo that Arab posted? God, he was so high on the bricks. I reposted it. So good. I used to get really high on the bricks. But
Did he make that? Do you know if he made it or is that a bail?
I don't know. I mean, I don't remember people making it that high at that early in the pipe. I made it in the middle of the pipe when I started going high on the bricks, a little farther down. He was really close to the entrance, like he carved right into it or something. I don't know.
I remember seeing Ray Bones get pretty high, maybe 3 bricks and come back in.
Oh, I've done 6 or 7 back then, but you know, it's like there's no photos of that. That was just being a kid, you know. It's probably
it was like every night, right? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. But I'll send you an invite on that when we do that.
That would be cool.
Yep.
I'm gonna change my icon so how's that stop video there? Now you guys can just visualize it getting up.
It's kind of weird.
Too low when this
coronavirus shutdown thing happened, it was kind of weird because I was actually going through my whole calendar, and I was specifically trying to figure out weekends where I could actually go do skate stuff because I've done so little of it in the last couple of years. But I was like going, okay, in August I can go here, in September I can go there, and I was picking out weekends. And then now that whole schedule is completely trashed.
Yeah.
So that's okay. I think I'm to the point where, you know, after a couple of years of teaching, I've settled into where I can actually start planning out certain weekends and times and taking time to actually go do stuff. So I'll have to keep way more in touch with you guys as to what's going on, when and where. As soon as we can all get out of our little prisons here.
Right.
Yeah. When's that going to be?
God, don't know.
Yeah.
You know what? In a time like this is when everyone starts looking at themselves going, dude, how come I never did X or Y? Yeah. Now I'm stuck in my house and I can't do it. It's like when sort of looking back on, you know, when you're old going, how come we never went to South America when we could? You know, now I'm in a wheelchair or whatever. I'm feeling that everyone's going through this no matter what their age is. It's kind of like, dude, why didn't I go to the park more often, the beach more often? Why didn't I go, you know, traveling more often or whatever?
I'm thinking, why didn't I finish freaking Tiger King? And why am I sitting here talking to a bunch of old fucking washed up photographers?
Wow.
Believe me, you'll have plenty of time to finish Tiger King.
I wouldn't be here if I didn't enjoy you guys.
I know,
I didn't get off on interrupting the whole thing.
I think Jim Gray is calling it. Let's call this meeting and then, you know, we'll do it again, you know, sometime. And but I think it's going to be good. I think people are going to get a lot of entertainment out of this.
Yeah.
I miss all you guys. I miss seeing you guys, you know, on the deck and at school and at the skate park.
Yeah, hopefully this is over sooner than later, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hope for that.
So where's this going to be posted?
I'm just going to put it on YouTube. I'll link it on Facebook and on Instagram.
Okay, so we'll see it.
It's going to be friggin' long. This one's a long one, but
it is a long one, I know.
Yeah. So I got to basically, you know, with the Zoom, if you guys ever do this for yourself, they give you a file and then it's going to download into my computer and then I have to convert that to where it'll go up on YouTube, and it takes forever. You know, it'll probably take all night, but it'll be worth it because Jim Gray, you know.
Yeah, Jim.
Four people will watch this. This will be awesome.
That's fine. I don't care.
It'll be just like your podcast.
Make sure the title is Jim Gray Goes to the Bathroom.
Dude, Jim Gray going to the bathroom is the end of this video.
Yeah, call it. Wait for it.
Well, thanks for showing up, everybody, and I'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, Ken.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for inviting me.
Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you,
Take
Ken.
care. Have a
Thanks
good
for
night.
letting me join
Thanks,
in.
guys.
Mariah, nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
I hope to hear more out of you next time. And sorry I took over because I kind of do that.
That was easy.
All right, later.
Okay, we have the
See you
easy
guys.
button.
Bye, everyone.